Alright people, what's happening? Big Ed here. Farting around with bikes tonight. This bike, I've almost got everything. I got one more thing to fabricate. I need to make a lever for down here to reach over to the forward control. I was thinking about using that piece right there and maybe cutting it, but I hate to cut it because that's an original piece right there, and to replace them is about $60-70, I believe. So I don't want to do that. I couldn't find anything at swap meet last time I went, so I'm still kind of looking. As soon as I find or get that lever figured out, then I got to start hunting for somebody to do the welding. That other Sportster, I broke it down. One of the parts bikes that I'm parting out. I got somebody coming to pick up the wheels and the speedometer and the tachometer. I sold the front end already, so I'm almost at halfway. I still got a motor and a bunch of other parts. With just one bike, I still got two other almost full bikes to go. So I'm definitely making my money back. I'm working on cutting this piece right here. Well, I pretty much got it cut. It's too hot to break it off earlier. That's for the clearance of the chain. I got to go down tomorrow and get some nuts because I'm going to have the nuts welded on the I'll have a nut welded there, a nut welded there. These two nuts will be welded, and then another nut welded right there. That way, when the fender is on the bike, I don't have to pull the freaking wheel off. I don't have to do all that crap. I just undo the damn nut. Undo the bolt. And I can take it off. At least that's the plan. You know, nothing ever goes the way it's supposed to. So this motor right here is a 1200 cc. And the other motor I'm fixing to show you is a 883. I still got this electric glide right here to part out. Pretty much everything's there except for the gas tank. It didn't have a gas tank. This bike is the one that had the title, but they signed it in the wrong place. And I heard it's a bunch of crap to try to get a title for it. So I've been kind of looking on Marketplace, trying to find one on Marketplace for the title. If I could find one for $300 or $400, then I might buy it and just put this motor and everything, and put this motor in the other frame. But right now I'm working on, because it's pretty much together, but you know, there's wires that are, a couple wires are loose. These right here, I think these might be for the brake light switch. But my plan right now is to just see if I can get it running. I'm not going to put the tank on. I'm going to get my homemade reservoir tank. This is that reservoir tank, reserve tank, or whatever you want to call it, that I made about a year or two ago. It worked out great. I got a little valve stem on here, so I can take that off to let it vent. And I've got a on-off valve. So I'm going to get the carburetor hooked up. All I want to do is see if maybe I can get it to fire up. I hooked up the scope earlier, which is in that box. And I pulled the plugs. It looks like the bike might have been running a little bit rich, but it was pretty clean in the cylinders. I didn't see hardly any carbon buildup. But I do believe the carburetor is running a little bit rich. Not too bad. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. So I'm not going to bother trying to hook up the lights and everything, because like I said, this frame, I'm not going to try to get a damn title for it. I'll hold on to this because I do have a title for it, but I might look for an aftermarket frame if I decide to try to swap. The only bad thing about these Sportsters is they are heavy, heavy, heavy. They're over 200 pounds because they got the transmission and you got the clutch and all that crap in there. Because that 1200 that I pulled out the other day, that sucker is heavy. But looks like everything's hooked up except for that right there. Probably goes to like a dash light or something like that. I do got to put some oil in it. I'll probably make sure none of these wires are touching anything. Put tape on all these ends so it doesn't short out when I'm trying to crank it over. I got a battery over there on the charger. The battery box I got to hook up. That's what I was getting ready to do right now, is look for some bolts, because they didn't have the bolts with it. But hook this battery box up. Or actually, I probably could, well, if I can find something to set the battery on. I don't know if that cable right there, this cable right here probably won't reach. But anyways, I'll get it figured out. And that's not going to be tonight. Well, I'm going to fart around and look for some bolts tonight. But probably my next video I'll see if I can't try to get her to crank up. Anyways, video's getting long, life's getting short. Peace out, people.